Konnichiwa, hello and welcome. This is Roy at Ninjazola90, and today I will be reviewing a super cool, really awesome figure, and that is the S.H.MonsterArts Godzilla vs. Kong Godzilla 2021 figure. And I got some things to say about it. So, with that said, let's get on with this review. And now, here we have the S.H.MonsterArts Godzilla vs. Kong Godzilla 2021 figure right here before us in all of his supercharged atomic glory. As you can see, this is a well-sculpted, well-detailed, highly articulated figure sculpted by none other than Yuji Sakai, of course. We can see his dorsal spines are lit, but it's more of a turquoise color, unlike the 2024 Godzilla X Kong pre-evolved figure. Although this is kind of the same figure, just in a different color scheme. We can see like the turquoise color on the dorsal spines with some silver wash in there as well. Really nice on the silver dry brushing, I can definitely tell. Makes his dorsal spines very, very shiny. And of course, we do have the same turquoise colorization on the inside of his mouth. I will get to that in a bit. Although this color scheme is a bit lighter than the original S.H.MonsterArts Godzilla 2019. If I really look at this one, it kind of looks like he was like just rising out of the ground, just like Godzilla from the Godzilla from Godzilla versus Mothra, or Mothra versus Godzilla, or Godzilla versus the Thing. You know, that the 1964 movie. It kind of reminds me of the colorization of the 1964 Godzilla. Sort of, but it's more of the it's basically just another 2019 design, just updated slightly. But anyway, I will be going over this figure in detail and articulation, starting with the upper body portion of the figure, working my way down to the lower body portion of the figure, and then getting a fuller, more in-depth, full view of the figure. So let's get started. And now, starting things off with the upper body portion of the figure. As you can see, this figure is well sculpted. We can see all those finer details in the muscle tone in his chest. And yeah, just like I said, we do look like we do have some like patches of sand and stuff stuck on his body, like he's just coming out the sand or the dirt or the mud, kind of like Muscle Goji, just like I said. Anyway, articulation wise, we can look. The head is on a ball joint, so we can look up, we can look down, we can look right, sort of. We can look left. The mouth is on a ball joint, or the jaw is on a ball joint. So we can open that mouth all the way up like so, and we can see all those finer details inside of his mouth, and we can see it's that metallic turquoise color, just like on the dorsal spines. Looks like he's about to fire off his heat ray, but this one doesn't come with an atomic breath heat ray effect part, so yeah, I kind of don't get the point here. Unless like they figure, hey, like most people that already have the 2019, don't really need that, so that's probably why. But anyway, yeah, I think if they did that colorization, I think this one should have at least come with a heat ray breath effect part, but unfortunately it didn't. But anyway, we can turn the head around independently from the neck, although yeah, it's kind of silly to do so, but you can if you want to. And also we do have a double joint ab crunch of this one, so we do have some articulation at the top of the torso, and as well as a ball joint in the waist area here, so we can look down like so, and then bring him back up again. Although, like, when you do bring him up fully, we do kind of have like a small gap right there between his top torso and his belly, but that's fine. That doesn't bother me too much. I mean, it's an action figure. I mean, you do have to have at least some level of gapping, maybe by the slightest, just to have some articulation, so that is understandable. Also, his shoulders are on a ball joint, so we can bring them out like slightly like this. Not a whole lot, but at least like a little bit. We can also rotate all the way around a full 360 and the opposite way, of course. Yeah, same is true with the other arm. So rotate it all the way around and the opposite way. And of course, as you were seeing, the elbows are on a double hinge joint, so we can bend them forward and back. Same is true with the other arm, so we can bend those elbows forward and back. And we also have a swivel at the elbow as well, so we can swivel those elbows all the way around a full 360 if we want to. And also we do have a swivel in the forearm as well, so we can swivel those forearms if we want to. And also we do have a ball joint hinge in the wrist as well, so we can rock those hands forward and back for that claw swiping action and swivel them all the way around. Same is true with the other hand, so we can rock it forward and back on a hinge joint for that claw swiping action and swivel them all the way around. And since I'm at the upper body portion of the figure and we are looking at those arms and those hands right now, we can see he has some really sharply sculpted claws here. His hands are interchangeable. This one does come with an extra pair of hands, so I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate that now. So this one comes with some more relaxed finger hands, just like the original 2019. So you pop these hands off like so, and yeah, you take these here more relaxed hands and you put them on like so. Same thing with the other side, and then yeah, there you have it. It comes with some real handy accessories. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the upper body portion of the figure. I will now be getting more in depth with the lower body portion of the figure and taking a look at those hips and those legs and those knees and the feet and all that good stuff. So let's get to it. And now moving right along down to the lower body portion of the figure, taking a look at those hips and the legs and the feet and all that good stuff. So starting things off, the hips are on ball joints, so we can split them out about that much. Not a whole lot, but we can split them out a little bit. We can rotate them all the way around a full 360 and the opposite way, of course. The same is true with the other leg, so we can rotate it all the way around a full 360 and the opposite way, as you are seeing. We do have a double joint hinge in the knee as well, so we can bend those knees forward and back. Same is true with the other leg, so we can bend those knees forward and back on the other leg as well. We do have a ball joint in those ankles, so we can point those feet forward and back like so, and rock them side to side and rotate them slightly. Same is true with the other foot, so we can point those toes forward and back, rock them side to side, and rotate them slightly. And as you can see, the 2019 design are the 2021 design, which is practically the same CGI design. Has more sharper, splayed out toes than the previous 2014 design, so that is a definite upgrade. And of course, moving right along to the tail of this figure, getting in detail with articulation and detail with the tail, technically. But this is where things with this figure start literally falling apart, to be honest. And this is where I really have to take points off this figure. Although, you know, this is a super cool, really awesome figure, it's not without its drawbacks, and this is where the drawbacks really start to show with this figure. So, for instance, if we try to move the tail just a little bit, yeah, you see, and if we try to move this segment even a little bit more, yeah, that happens. And we have to put this back on. We have to try to get this back on. As you can see, tail on this one, it likes to pop apart real easily. So you can't really move the tail too much like it was made to move because of the QC issues. And that's a real shame, you know, with these figures, especially for the price, or for the prices we have been paid, or the price you're going to pay for some of these figures. The quality control could and should, as you're seeing, be better. And I'm not even going to try to move this tail anymore, because every time I'm going to try and articulate the tail, it's just going to pop apart. So what's the point? But anyway, we do have some good colorization in the tail with that supercharged turquoise color there, with some silver dry brushing to really make it shine, to really make it pop. But other than that, if you try to articulate the tail, as you just saw, yeah, even if you just, yeah, you wiggle it slightly, pops apart. So obviously no good there. But anyway, that concludes it for the lower body portion of the figure. And now getting a more fuller, in-depth view of the figure, shall we? And now getting a more fuller, hands-on view of the figure. Yeah, looks cool. You know, has really good detail and everything. Good articulation in the arms and the legs, and in the head, and also in the torso and in the waist. But yeah, where this figure really starts falling apart, literally, as you guys just seen, is in the tail area. And I tried fixing that with clear nail polish to tighten it up, and it just doesn't work. So yeah, that is a major issue with this figure. Same thing with the 2024 pre-evolved. Same thing with both 2019 S.H.MonsterArts 2019 Godzillas I have, both the regular and burning versions. So yeah, there's something about these S.H.MonsterArts Godzilla 2019 tails that just doesn't hold together very well. So yeah, obviously, if you're looking for a good, articulated, well-detailed Godzilla 2019 figure, or at least 2019 design like Legendary Godzilla, that has that level of detail and articulation, my best bet is I would just go straight for the Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic versions. I would just skip on the MonsterArts. Although, like I said, this is a really good figure. I still do appreciate it, but yeah, for the price point, could be better. But anyway, that pretty much concludes it for this review. I will now be getting into my final verdict and giving you guys my final thoughts and opinions, and giving this figure a final score based on detail, articulation, and playability. So let's get to it. And now for my final verdict on the S.H.MonsterArts Godzilla vs. Kong Godzilla 2021 figure here. If I have to give this one a final score based on detail, articulation, and playability, I have to give him a drumroll, please. A very fair but square, well-deserved, and I really wish I could give this one a higher score because he is a super cool, really awesome looking figure on the surface level. But due to the really unfortunate QC issues, I have to give this one a very disappointing, mediocre score of 2.3 stars. Why? Although, like I said, this one is a super cool, really awesome looking figure on the surface level. I do like the whole, paint scheme on his skin tone, looking like he's been in a desert and just crawled out of the sand, sort of like you see on Godzilla vs. Mothra, the 1964 movie. Sort of almost like the Godzilla 1964 Emergence version, so kind of similar to that. And also, I do like the turquoise color on the dorsal spines. That really makes them look really cool, especially with that silver dry brushing. That really makes them shine and pop. I really like that. I really do appreciate this. But however, yeah, and this is where I say some of these figures fall apart if you quote-unquote look at them too hard. Yeah, that. And if you move this too much, his whole booty comes off. So, yeah. That's where I have to take a lot of points off this figure. Would be a much better figure if that wasn't an issue, but I feel like this is just way too much of a major issue for the price. But if you are in the market for, sort of like a 2019 Godzilla design that has a good amount of articulation and a good amount of detail that looks very close to what you see in the movie, I would just skip this one entirely and just go for the Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic versions. You're going to be getting better figures right out of the gate for less money, so I would just go for those. Besides, those don't have the same QC issues in the tail that this one has. You see, I just pulled on it slightly, and the whole tail came off. So, yeah, that's a major disappointing issue with these. But other than that, I think this is a cool looking figure aesthetically speaking. But, when it just comes to the whole, level of articulation this one has, it just falls flat when it comes to, yeah. So, yeah, now you get the point to, you basically see why I'm taking so much points off this figure. But anyway, if you made it this far into the video, thank you guys all so much for watching. Your attention span is much appreciated. That helps out this channel a lot. If you want to help out this channel even more, like and subscribe if you haven't already, and if you have friends interested in the same content, feel free to share this on your social media, on your Facebook, on your X account, which was Twitter at one point, and even on the slap.com. And as long as you don't send the paparazzi crew to come harass me, it's all good. They better stick to their low-fat recipes if they know what's good for them. But anyway, as always, thank you guys all so much for watching. Like I said, your viewership is much appreciated. and stay safe, take care, God bless, stay powered up, stay positive, and peace out.